Two creators who were each cancelled are now suddenly friends. And yes, I'm talking about Clara Dao and Jasmine Tan. They almost have the same genre of content, different controversies, but somehow they have the same comeback energy. But what is really happening behind the carefully crafted Instagram and TikTok post? I'm talking about captions like when they tell you to bring a friend or POV, you finally meet your internet bestie after forever. And these videos got a lot of people talking because people are now asking, is this actually a genuine friendship or a strategic collab to get them back to the top? Because if you think about it, the two of them are cancelled, but they somehow managed to make one alliance. What is really going on? In this video, I'm gonna be breaking it all down for you. With that being said, let's dive right into it. First off, quick background on people involved in this video so that everybody is on the same page. Clara Dao rose to prominence as a body positivity creator. She built a massive following by centering content about embracing a small or flat chest and making women feel seen and confident. Over time, that niche became her brand and business. Think about hundreds of millions of views and followers across different platforms. But that brand depended on her image being stable, and the message behind the brand was, I accept my body as it is, and it was more of like a promise to her fans.
To be honest with me, girls, do you think size matter? I personally don't think so because I have a flat chest. I basically have nothing. I was body shamed by almost everyone, from my family to my friends to even strangers. They would point out how skinny I am, they would point out how flat my chest is or how flat my butt is, how I don't have any assets or anything to look at. As I grow older, I just realized that none of it matters.
While Jasmine Tan positioned herself as a girls style creator, she was all about empowerment, feminist adjacent content, and hot takes aimed at women trying to find their voices online.
Hi, yes, hello. If you identify as a woman, we need to have a little chat, girly. I'm calling an emergency meeting right this second. Baby girlies, I feel like us women are getting way too desperate to make something work here. Because why have we invented the term ugly hot? Ugly hot is basically someone who's ugly, but in certain lighting and angles. Okay, you could say they're kind of cute and kind of charming. And honey, don't get me wrong, I get it. Because the girlies got tired of chasing conventionally hot guys and getting burned by these narcissistic fuckboys. So we, as a collective, have gaslight ourselves into thinking that ugly guys are hot. But now the ugly guys gets an ego boost and thinks they're seriously hot shit. As all my friends who grew up in a normal household, I'm sorry, but most of them have the driest sense of humor. Like, even if I get a redo at life, I wouldn't know which to choose. Traumatized but funny, or normal childhood but boring personality.
Her following responded to a blend of glamour, advice, and outspoken opinions. But like many creators who take strong stances, Jasmine's opinions attracted both devoted fans and vocal critics who say that our opinion can somehow cross into shaming and hypocrisy. Much of the discourse around Jasmine comes from community and commentary videos that call out specific examples. So basically, we're talking about two creators who both built authenticity-based brands but somehow ended up in a controversy. And I'm talking about a major controversy. Now, let's unpack what people call cancellation for each of them, because being cancelled on social media can mean different things. For example, you losing followers, you falling out with a brand, maybe public backlash, etc. Let's start with Clara. In early/mid 2025, Clara publicly announced that she had a breast augmentation. For a creator whose whole identity was tied to a flat-chested body positivity message, that was a symbolic and emotional rupture for many fans. The backlash was almost immediate, I kid you not. Followers felt betrayed or confused, and Clara lost a large number of followers across platforms. Several mainstream outlets and creator roundups reported on the backlash and follower losses, calling it a clear turning point for her platform. And by the way, Clara has already stated that her decision was personal and it was part of wanting creative freedom, but let me just say 90% of people called it hypocrisy.
Yes, I did have a boob job. I know this might come as a shock because my whole page used to be about loving my flat chest and being confident with it. I literally built my entire career and following around that. So why did I do it? Am I crazy? Was everything a lie? Was I secretly insecure this whole time and just used body positivity as a way to make money so I could finally afford a boob job? No, let me tell you the real reason why I did it. And it comes down to one word: fun.
Now on to Jasmine Tan. Her cancellation moments are more or less scattered because viewers and commentators point to videos and posts where her remarks about men or inconsistency between empowerment rhetoric and her actions sparked intense critics. The pattern here is a creator who loudly markets herself as supportive and sometimes empowering, but in the eyes of many viewers, sometimes uses that platform to shame or dog on others.
Baby girl, not to be a hater, but do you guys notice that us Gen Zs are aging really fast and looking way older than our actual age? Like, muka kita boros banget anjir. Like this morning, I saw this girl in my Pilates class, right? And I legit thought that she was like a mama muda that goes to Pilates class after she drops her kids to school in the morning. And today I was feeling sociable, right? So I poked her and I was like, oh my god, Chi, you awet muda banget. And she was like, bitch, what are you talking about? I'm 21. At that point, I wanted to unalive myself because, oh my god, that's so embarrassing. Girly pop. She's still in school. She's 21. Why does she look like a mother of two who responsibly files her goddamn taxes every year?
And when I tell you these videos led to waves of commentary videos, I mean a lot of commentary videos on Jasmine Tan. And a lot of people started questioning her authenticity and why she would say things like that. She later released an apology video basically addressing the whole thing and saying she would do better.
Okay, I know y'all have been waiting for this video, and it's finally here. Hi baby girlies, it's been a while, huh? So come get ready with me while we catch up a little bit, shall we? Hi, I'm Jasmine. Some people call me Jazzy, and I have been a content creator for over a year now. And guess what? I fucked up. I am taking full responsibility for all the mistakes that I made last year. Just like you, I am human, and I'm not perfect. And I make mistakes. Sometimes I yap a lot, and sometimes things get taken out of context, and then sometimes I say the wrong things. So I'm sorry if it offended any of my baby girlies. It was never my intention.
But here's the thing about influencer friendships. Most of them don't just happen because people click instantly. They happen because the platforms push creators in the same arenas, especially when they have the same niches, the same target demographic, or even the same algorithmic circle. And when two creators are going through public backlash, the pressure even becomes more intense. So let's talk about why Clara and Jasmine being linked now is somehow significant, not because of the friendship itself, but because of the timing. When creators are under pressure, they oftentimes engage in what researchers like to call identity consolidation. And in this case, it's basically when your personal brand is falling apart and then you cling to somebody who almost relates to the same experience or have the same experience like you do. And by the way, this isn't new. If you follow pop culture, you see this happen everywhere. Two people get cancelled and then all of a sudden they become friends and then they're both controversial figures. When your image is destabilized, aligning with somebody else who understands the backlash feels like safety. And by the way, this isn't just tea because there's no tea here. I just felt like this is going to be a very good conversation starter about influencer friendship and how all of a sudden two people are just friends out of nowhere. And in this case, I think it's part of the influencer economy, or what I like to call the influencer economy. Why did I just stutter right there? If you take a look at Jasmine's page, you will see that the video of her with Clara, the first video actually, has over 1 million views and well over 100,000 likes. And mind you, I'm not trying to shame Jasmine in any way, but if you scroll through her page again, you'll notice that most of her videos don't have up to 1 million views. And I'm not trying to shame her. What point I'm trying to make right now is because the both of them became friends, because a lot of people on the internet were constantly saying that the both of them will go together, given that they were kind of cancelled at almost the same time. That made a lot of people come watch their videos, leave a comment, and so on and so forth. I mean, people are leaving comments like, of course, it's the two people getting cancelled.
Jazzy, you're making a mistake.
The internet's most hated duo.
This is the collab we know we didn't need.
And by these comments, I'm starting to think that a lot of people were just waiting patiently for this time when they eventually become friends. And honestly, I was kind of also looking forward to it because I was already expecting them to become friends with the way a lot of people were commenting in their past videos. But this part is important because I want you to stick with me. If you haven't noticed by now, women who build brands around empowerment are expected to be morally perfect regardless of what they do. I tell you, they are held to impossible standards because you already know the backstory of how women who didn't have credit cards back in the day, they weren't even allowed to work. They had to get their husband's permission before they actually do anything, which alone is creepy as it is. At the same time, because those women preach empowerment and feminism, whenever they do something that is kind of against their brands or something like that, they instantly get cancelled. Sometimes it even feels like they cannot even come back from that cancellation. Even to now, a lot of people are still commenting things on Clara's platforms, calling her a betrayal, calling her plastic, calling her all sort of things. And at the same time, as much as I do agree that it can be kind of, let's just say, shocking for somebody to preach something for a very long time and then all of a sudden go against her word, that what you always call hypocrisy. But still carrying it for, I believe, like 10 months now, it is definitely something. And I love the fact that a lot of people are now supporting her, obviously not supporting the betrayal, but supporting the fact that she doesn't need to be extremely bullied after 10 months after making a decision and after pulling away from body positivity. I don't think she deserves to be bullied. I don't think she deserves the threat. And I kind of do understand why all of a sudden they want to be friends, they want to hang out together because they went through a whole cancellation. I think it was pretty serious for what it was. And here's what I think might actually happen in the foreseeable future. Not that they're friends or at least online besties, I think they're going to release a brand or probably a podcast. Even though they were once cancelled, they still know that they have fans that still support them to date. So they'll probably release a brand, a collaboration together or something like that. I don't really know how that works in the influencer world. In my personal opinion, I honestly think that there's nothing wrong with this friendship. Like, it's not even problematic. Obviously, people want a reason to talk, but this particular friendship bond or whatever, it might be not real, it might be real, but at the end of the day, I don't see anything wrong with that. Now, I think there's probably something going to happen in the foreseeable future, but for now, there's nothing honestly wrong with two people that got or that are cancelled now coming together making videos. On this note, Jasmine still does her normal advising girls videos, and so far everything is good. I think now she's coming from a place of genuine love and not trying to dunk or hate on others. While Clara just does get ready with me, or she talks about her body, or she talks about something. When I tell you that the comments are still pretty brutal for what it is, like genuinely so brutal. I also hope that their friendship is coming from a place of honesty, and I know that with this friendship they'll probably be able to do so many good things because it seems like they're evolving as people and becoming better people with the way they approach their audience and the way they say different things. I'm all here for it. I'll probably even go follow them and watch their videos. And I know that you might be wondering, this is probably big news for the unemployed, but I am employed. Yes, I work a job, in case you did not know. And this news doesn't change anything. Probably first world problems because nobody cares. And by the way, if you're new here, hi, my name is Kelly. I forgot to introduce myself earlier, and welcome. Yeah, if you like thought-provoking content, or if you just like me talking about things that I overthink about, just subscribe and like. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate. And yeah, that's all for this video, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Bye.